You open a blank spreadsheet at midnight for no reason you can fully explain and type your salary into the first cell, $62,000. It looks fine there. Solid even, the kind of number you've been quietly proud of for years. Then you keep going. You subtract taxes first because that part's easy. That part's on the pay stub already. Federal, state, Social Security gone before you even see it. $62,000 becomes $46,800 in about 4 seconds. Still fine. Still a real number. You almost close the laptop right there. Instead, you open a new tab and start doing the part nobody puts on a pay stub. Your commute. 27 minutes each way, which sounds like nothing until you multiply it by 5 days, then by 50 weeks, and it turns into 225 hours a year sitting in traffic you're not paid for. Wearing down a car you're also not being reimbursed for. You look up the actual cost of that wear, the gas, the depreciation, the oil changes that come faster because of stop-and-go traffic, and the number that comes back is somewhere over $8,000 a year, quietly leaving your account to fund the privilege of getting to a job that already taxed you on the way in. $46,800 becomes $38,700. You sit with that for a second. Then you keep going, because now you can't stop, the way you can't stop picking at a thread once you've found the loose end. You start pricing your actual day, not the 8 hours on the schedule, the real hours. The 15 minutes you spend getting ready specifically for work, clothes you wouldn't otherwise buy, a work bag you wouldn't otherwise own, the coffee you buy every morning because the alternative is showing up half asleep to a 9 a.m. meeting that could have been an email. None of this shows up anywhere official. All of it is real money every single week, quietly funding your ability to keep doing the job in the first place. Another $4,000 a year, conservatively. You know it's probably more. You round down anyway because some small part of you is still hoping the math turns around. It doesn't. $38,700 becomes $34,600. Here's the part that actually stops you. You open one more tab and start counting hours instead of dollars. Not the 8 you're paid for. All of them. The commute both ways. The getting ready. The decompressing afterward because you're too drained to do anything else for the first hour you're home. The mental residue of a stressful email that follows you into dinner, into your evening, into the version of you that's supposed to be off the clock but never actually clocks out. 10 hours a day, easily, once you count everything the job actually cost you in time, not just the 8 it claims on paper. You divide $34,600 by the real number of hours instead of the fake one. 250 working days, 10 real hours each, 2,500 hours a year, not the 2,000 your offer letter implied. The number that comes back is $13.84 an hour. You stare at it for a while. Then, almost as a joke, almost daring the math to get worse, you add one more line. The stuff nobody counts because it doesn't feel like a cost. It just feels like life. The stress that follows you home. The sleep it costs you the night before a big presentation. The Sunday evenings that don't feel like your own because tomorrow is already looming over them. You can't put a clean number on that one, but you know it's not zero. You know if you actually could price it, the real number wouldn't be $13.84. It would be less. Maybe a lot less. Maybe once you count everything a job quietly takes that never shows up on a single pay stub, the honest number is somewhere at or below the value of the time you're handing over for it. You close the laptop. Not dramatically, just quietly, the way you'd close a book you didn't expect to end the way it did. Here's the thing nobody tells you when you take a job in the first place. Nobody sits you down and explains that the salary on the offer letter is the beginning of the math, not the end of it. You're taught to negotiate the number at the top. Nobody teaches you to look at everything quietly subtracted from it before it ever reaches your hand, and everything it costs you in hours you'll never get back before you even start counting the money at all. This isn't an argument to quit your job tomorrow morning. Most people can't, and pretending otherwise would be its own kind of dishonest math. But something changes once you've actually run these numbers instead of just feeling vaguely tired all the time without knowing exactly why. You start looking differently at every hour outside of work. You start noticing which of them you're spending on things that quietly cost you money to maintain a job, and which of them are actually building something that doesn't require you to keep showing up just to keep the number from collapsing to zero. You think about the parts of your life that don't get taxed, that don't require a commute, that don't cost you a work wardrobe or a coffee just to survive them. The hour you spent last month learning something new instead of scrolling. The small amount you put into an investment account and haven't touched since. None of it looks like much next to a $62,000 salary, but none of it is quietly being subtracted from behind your back. Either you open the laptop one more time before bed, not to redo the math, just to look at the number again, $13.84 an hour, sitting there in black and white, next to the $62,000 you were proud of 4 hours ago. Both numbers are true at the same time. That's the part that actually keeps you up tonight. You always assumed the salary was the whole story. Turns out it was just the number they let you see first.